Shadow Mewtwo versus Lucario is kind of annoying because from a tactical perspective, Shadow Mewtwo does extremely well in the matchup, but once Lucario gets burst, it doesn't really matter. So I've been experimenting with different supports. One of them I was using was Sylveon to pop it as soon as they get burst. It doesn't really seem to matter what support you pick. That fact of the matchup is still going to exist. So if you want to just go for Eevee, just so you can get pillar pressure, that works too. But either way, it's going to be annoying once Lucario gets burst. You really have to treat Lucario like Gengar. If it gets burst, if it has burst round 3, it's probably going to win. So you really have to focus on winning the first round, or you have to focus on getting it to use its burst in round 2 so that it doesn't have it in round 3. Alright, so how to deal with Lucario. Lucario's field phase is one of the worst in the game in my opinion. Back Y actually goes through a lot of the moves that it has, so let's show us one of the most annoying moves that Lucario has. These are some of the most annoying things that this, by far, I think is the most annoying to deal with. Side Y, because it'll just hit you in the back when you're moving, but back Y goes completely through that. But you just can't be too close when you use back Y. Forward Y is also super annoying. You need to be moving to the side to whiff punish it, but it also goes pretty far, so you might just get hit. What I suggest to deal with both of these two moves is, let's see if I can set them to record. Is jump. Jump Y, I like against a lot of characters. These are like mid-lows basically. I think they really are windows. You can avoid those with jumping Y, really useful. Lucario doesn't really have an answer for jumping Y, to be honest with you. It also has this move, which is pretty annoying at max distance, which is back Y. It's like a command counter, and if you try to whiff punish it, it's really difficult to whiff punish it. I can't consistently do it on the ground, but you know what you can do? Is you can do it in the air with jump Y. So just jump Y is just such a useful move. Bone Rush is really annoying. Obviously, you know, you're gonna see a lot of videos of people are like, well, what you need to do is you need to, you know, armor through the hits, and you know, it's something I gotta practice as well. If you ever are blocking Bone Rush, if you press counter 3 times quickly, that's usually the timing that you'll need to stop both the upper, the slam, and no follow-up. And then you can, like, so counter 3 times quickly and then like grab. It's tough to do though, frankly, and a lot of people even in matches don't get it. So personally, I think that that's an excellent defensive option to have, but just remember that the idea is that you're not supposed to be this close. The idea is that you should be jumping Y over this, or you should just be like moving. You know, side Y keeps Lucario at bay, and then once it starts trying to lunge at you, jumping Y is super effective against it. When you're using back Y, just make sure that you're not really close. You're not in range to get the startup stuffed by side Y. And Aura Sphere is another annoying attack. This attack used to be way more annoying because let's show it. It's really big and it tracks. So I can like try to move, sidestep, and you can sidestep it, but if you try to side walk, it'll just hit you. Even if you try to side Y, it'll track you. But previously, if you traded level 2 blast or level 3 blast with it, then it would cancel it out. But now, if you have a level 3 blast, you'll go through it, which is totally changes that matchup in field phase. So Lucario really has no business ever beating you in field phase. Now for dual phase is a lot more difficult because Lucario has this 2Y, which is a really annoying poke, which it's not necessarily that great in and of itself, but it can be a very effective whiff punisher because you can buffer it into Bone Rush, so they can whiff punish anything that you're doing that doesn't make contact. So if they're walking back and you do a 6X, they can whiff punish it with this. Jump is a super annoying. It comes down at a weird angle because if you try to anti-air jump Y and they go for a jump X, they might actually just stuff out your move. So that's pretty annoying. If you want to anti-air Lucario, you kind of have to be kind of close. If you're like this distance away when Lucario jumps, it's pretty risky because if you try to 8Y then they come down kind of late, or you know if they get super close and they try to cross you up, that could be annoying. So just kind of this sweet spot right here is where you want to be standing if you want to anti-air. This attack, not really that scary. In fact, let me show you what happens. So if you block this is a true block string if they go for the cancel, and if they don't, or they go for the late cancel. So let's say they went for. And that's going to be plus. What I would do is once you block this, just reflect. Oh, what the heck was that? True block string. And then you'll go over if they go for some sort of delayed cancel. Or if they do anything. So let's say that they try to take advantage of the fact that they're +8 and then they try to go like this. Try to do some jabs on you. Or let's say I think you're gonna jump. You can still reflect. And this counts as them going for a cancel. You notice right there. So they don't get away. Let's see if they 8Y. Yeah, you can still armor that. Jumping back is probably better because you can flamethrower, but it doesn't really matter. You really should practice that reflect though, because it can get you out of a ton of situations even at -8. And when you come down with the flamethrower though, you want to do it kind of low. Otherwise, they could bone rush you and you get hit. You have a lot of time to confirm after that also. Some other annoying moves are 8X. This move is super irritating. But you can whip punish that. Just stand out of the range. Walk back when it's walking towards you. You don't really have to worry too much about 2Y. 8X is annoying. Just a raw 6X, you just want to stand out of the range and whip punish that. Using a lot of level 2 blasts are going to provoke those type of lunges. And then once you think they're going to jump, you walk up a little bit closer actually so that you can anti-air it. So it's going to be annoying dealing with Bone Rush at this distance, but you can also side strike if you don't want to counter. So like you block a hit of Bone Rush, and then you go for the side strike once you block one hit. And then if they go for no follow-up, then your Bone Rush, your side strike won't come out and you can go for a grab. I have a video linking how to time that. I didn't practice it myself honestly, but so dual phase really comes down to provoking them lunging at you with a 6X or an 8X, and if they're not that type of player, they just want to walk into you, then level 2 blasts are really good. Now 2X can go under level 2 blast depending on the spacing. So if they're waiting around for that, you can just walk up to them and then shoulder check them. And when you shoulder check them with 6X, you can teleport back, or you can even teleport over them, but I personally wouldn't prefer doing that. Lucario's not really threatening with the moves. It's really threatening when it just walks you down, because you know that it can do so much damage. And you know that if you 6X and they 8X over it, it's going to be a problem. So, what you want to really be doing is while you're provoking here, you want to know that maybe after 1 or 2 of these, they like to jump. So you want to just chill out, you know, after throwing them. And if they walk you all the way to the corner, frankly, it's really hard for them to like anti-air you coming out if they're like point blank. So you want to wait till they get like right next to you, and you want to either reflect over them, or what I would just do is just straight up jumping wide. Sometimes they can anti-air you, but a lot of times they can't. And if you come down with like a reflect at the very end, then you will like armor through their DP. So let me see if I can show that. So if you're minus, oh wow, that punishes. Okay, all right. If you're -8, then you can't do it immediately. You have to like backdash or teleport. See, if you're point blank, you can backdash that? Wow, really? Okay. Nice to know. Now, the real issue with this matchup is burst. Burst is just, this move by itself, I don't know how they allowed this move to be in the game. It's +8 and it it has a huge hitbox. If you try to jump this, you can get hit. And you can reflect right here, but let's say if I go for this, and then I go for the burst, a lot of times your inputs will just straight up get eaten. And if you jump, they say in the frame data right now currently that it's a mid-low, but that is not a mid-low. If that was a mid-low, it wouldn't be able to hit you like that. It can't hit you jumping once you're jumping up. So that move is just messed up. Now once you do block this move, one thing that I want to point out though, if you can get them to use up their burst attack, something that I was working on. So let's say they go for 8Y. Alright, let me try that again. Timing is pretty tough. You can still reflect. Now, the problem is Flamethrower is a light. So, you're really going to need Eevee. Let me put the attack up. Alright, so that'll hit him. It's pretty useful. Even if they go for a DP, let's see. Wow, that's messed up. Yeah, you can use Flamethrower after that. That timing is really strict though. I'd really suggest you practice that a lot because it's pretty tough. Yeah, it's pretty good. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to pop Eevee as soon as you see their burst declare animation. And then if you block the burst attack, then after you block it, they're +8. And then you can go for a reflect backwards. And then, you know, you can punish DP, you go over everything pretty much. So, and since you have the attack up, the Flamethrower will actually hit them. So that's something that I've been working on. But you're going to have to really practice that timing. It's a big deal. But honestly, once they get into the burst, if they're in dual phase, you probably lost. If you're in field phase, you want to just chill out. And you don't really want to throw too many buttons unless they're like full screen, because they go pretty far. And remember that that's -12 still. That it was nerfed after a previous patch. In field, you can kind of just chill out. But in dual phase, it's kind of a wrap, honestly. Oh yeah, one more thing to note, that Lucario has a 11 frame reversal in extreme speed. So when you're dealing with the extreme speed and you want immediate, this is a perfect time to vortex. But you know, you can try a lot of different option selects and 6x timings, but the best thing that you want to do is vortex, because the timings are just so strict and so specific on those that just vortex it. Just vortex it. But mid-screen they can backdash, so try to make sure that they're in the corner before you do that.